Hello everybody, once again, it's me, Dev Wilcox, the modernist colourist, for the second time today. Literally an hour after I'd uploaded the questions and answers video, Amazon came rat-a-tat-tatting on my door and bought the second part of the haul. So as promised, obviously with it being a Sunday, I wanted to get this in, otherwise it'd be next week. So I'll get straight on with it. The first book that I ordered was this one. This is the Art Therapy Disney, the Hachette Heroes series. It's a hardback book. I'm not sure what that title means. Le Nouveau Bestiaire Extraordinaire. So, for all you French-speaking people out there, you would be able to translate that no problem. But I think it's either predominantly the Jungle Book or it's, Disney related in some kind. But I did manage to get a look inside the book, and unbelievably, this is, like I said, it's a very, very well made book. It's all written in French at the back, so I do apologise. But it's hardcover, like I said. And then we get into the book. It's got a lovely cool sort of gold colour, bronzy colour. And then you get into the title page. The paper is super thick. There are quite a few paragraphs. Oops, that's the introduction page. It's published by Hachette Company, and it's a 2016 Disney book. I'm surprised I've not seen it before now. The family. So you've got all sorts of beautiful images in here, which will kind of make the Disney fans go mental. How cute's these two, please? By the way, my education on Disney is very limited, so I don't want to start calling people or calling these illustrations by the wrong titles. So I'm not going to embarrass myself by doing that. But as you can see, I'm going to do a flip through. I didn't used to be that keen on the kind of fine details inside the main illustration as Millie Marotta does with her books. But these are a bit different in so much that you can ignore them if you want. With just a marker across the whole thing. And then obviously add your own detailing, whether it be pencil or gel pen or whatever. But they're beautiful images and they're so cute. All the backgrounds are done as well, but you can add your own to it as well. I mean, that's very scantily done at the background there with the skyline, with the buildings. You could add details to the buildings. You could completely black it out with acrylic paint if you wanted. But the choice is yours. But the images are just so super cute, and like I say, it's not one I've seen a lot of. I recognise this guy from the Toy Story, I think it is. But as you can see, that's a really good one. I'm just trying to make sure that you can see it all. That's a bit better, isn't it? I've not really looked through it because, like I said, they've only just come. They are a day late, so I'll be having words. I'll be sending an email anyway. That's a nice double page spread. That's really good. But like I said, the backgrounds are so faintly done, you could easily, you know, get rid of them if you so wish. I mean, this mermaid design, for instance, there's loads of schools of fish here. You could, you know, you could do them all in pencil, fine liner. You could get rid of them all and just put some sea effect in there. That's particularly good with the bones at the bottom for the dog and the hearts. For the owner's adoration for the animal. That's a bit of a filler page full of fish. Again, some lovely designs in here. And there is over 100 images in this book. So, you know, even if it's for a present for kids or for somebody who's just started up in the colouring world, there's more than enough to start on in here. That's a good one. I can hardly turn the pages, they're really, really stiff. Super quality of the pages of the paper. That's a sloth, isn't it? I don't know what film it's from, but there's just so many cute images in here. It's like cuteness overload. Particularly like this one. Another filler page, another couple of filler pages, and again you got these. That's a very brief kind of flip through, because like I say, I don't really know a lot about the subject, so I don't want to be waffling on, not knowing much. This is a good image with all the instruments and obviously the startled chap there. And that's it. It tells you a little bit about each image, but obviously that's in French. It tells you on the inside back cover what other books you can get in this collection. I've been particularly impressed with these Art Therapy Hachette ones. Like I said, the quality is fantastic, and that's the first one. The second one was recommended to me because of the Pomegranate Publishing. I was particularly impressed with, is it this book here? Or is it the... No, I think it's the Coloriage Wild book. That's printed by Pomegranate. And somebody on a thread the other day said, well, have a look at Cat Colour. It's by the same publishers. It's on very, very good paper. This paper reminds me of the kind of Kirby Rosanna's cat type books paper. But the cats in here are hilarious. They're not to be taken seriously, but the images are really good. And obviously it's meant to be with a tongue in cheek and quite funny. And that cat's left its bathing suit at the side, look, while it goes for a swim. Another one here hiding in the holly. That's dressed up as a sheep, I think. Again, quite funny. Two of the same cat in some flowers. And loads of them pigging out on chicken. Ironically, the mouse has been left totally alone while they munch on the chicken. And flying on a goose. I mean, I like this just for the artwork as much as anything else. As I said earlier, I don't always buy a colouring book to colour in it. I do appreciate the art and very much enjoy looking through them. And brushing its teeth. Going through an art museum. I mean, that's just so funny. And then you've got Catman here, excuse me. You've got Catman here instead of Batman on the in the museum. And you got Cat in a rocking chair with the kittens playing with the balls of wool. That's quite a good one with the fire feature on it. Cat's ballooning. That's the King Kong scene, but it's a massive cat pouring down the little plains, and that's it. It's not a massively I've got to get this book, but I like it. I like it for the artwork, and I like it for the quality of the book. It's a really well made book, and all these images are one-sided, and there are approximately 1, 2, 3 spares at the back for you to test your mediums on. So that's Cat Colour by B.T. Kilburn, or Tilburn even. No, it's not. It's Kleban. I do apologise. Kliban. So that's B. Kleban. And you can read more about him in the introduction. So that's a little bit about the illustrator there, but it's by Pomegranate, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. And then you get this big massive book here. I don't know if I can, yeah, just about fit that on. Again, this is another art therapy one. Hachette Heroes. Vitro of Vitru, something like that. This has got a silver inside cover, again with 100 images. And the illustrator is Jean-Luc Guérin. Again, the majority, this is a brand new 2018 book. It's all written in French. So it's almost a stained glass type stuff, but there's Snow White look. These are going to be much more enjoyable than the other ones. It's a really good quality book, again. Hardcover, very well made. The only downside is that they are double-sided. But I do like the borders that they put on them. I mean, some of these are outstanding. The artwork is fantastic. There's Pinocchio there, look. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I mean, these are big pages, you know, and they are of the same quality as the other books. You know, they're good thickness. Quite smooth, but they do have a tooth. The other thing on this book that I noticed was the edging. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's metallic silver, which is a really cool feature. It'd make it stand out on your bookshelf for sure. It's just so well made, which is one of the reasons why I like books like this. You've got all the brickwork here, which will be good coloured. There's Winnie the Pooh, I think. I mean, these shapes are just, I would imagine, very relaxing to colour. You know, they're quite broad lined. You're not going to go over edges. And if you know you want to do something that's not too taxing, this book will be one of the first that I pull out, looking at the images. I mean, they're fantastic. There's like a blank page here, you can do your own drawings in. I think that's the tiger from Jungle Book, is it? If you watch now, it'd be Lion King, but never mind. I think it's Jungle Book anyway. I'll just move them forward a little bit. So yeah, you've got all these lovely images on really quality paper. I will be leaving links for all these books in the description. So if anybody fancies buying it, the link will be there. I don't have to give a disclaimer because I'm not getting any kickback with that. They're just currently assessing me until I get a certain amount of sales, and then they'll let me know whether I've been accepted or not. I mean, there's so many here. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all because it's just going to end up being too long. That's pretty good, the reversal of that one with the contrast. But if anybody does want an in-depth flip through of this book, I'm more than happy to do it. You know, the artwork is astonishing. And then I'm presuming these are kind of like postcards, this the look that you can cut out. So there are a lot of smaller versions. That'd be certainly a fine liner job. So you've got a variance in what you can use as well in the book. And that's finished, that's the end. Well pleased with that. I think that book was about a tenner, I think. But it's really heavy, really good quality. And I'm more than happy to do a flip through if that comes through. I'll save the best till last. This is another one, Bestiaire Extraordinaire. Again, same kind of thing. Hachette Heroes, 100 images, hardback book, fantastic quality paper. This is a 2017 book, and the illustrator is the same guy again, I think. Yep, who is Jean-Luc Guérin. Excuse me. So again, you've got all these images. Very cute, very whimsical. And very good if you just want to do some mindless colouring. Like I say, I'm not going to do an in-depth one. I'm going to save that for the last book. But, you know, should anybody want an in-depth flip through, I've said before and I'll say it again, I'm more than happy to do that. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. So yeah, that's another great book of good quality purchased. And then the final book is one that I would like to think that I managed to find in tune with my other findings previous. This is an art therapy book, but it's called Metamorphosis. Well, that's the French way anyway. Now, I think it's either based on or prior to Kirby Rosanna's work, but the illustrations in here are very quirky, very unique, very original. It's the same kind of book as the rest. Hardcover. The illustrator is different. This is Amelie Barnahan. Obviously it's all in Barnathan it is, I beg your pardon. That's the illustrator here. She's left a little thumbnail that you can colour in. Here we go. So you've got the bat, first of all, with the outspread wings. And then you have a flower arrangement that runs alongside that. You have this creature here with all these leaves and flowers. I'm not sure what they are. I think that's some kind of swan or egret. And again, everything's designed around the outside of it. You've got this one here, which is a bird of prey. I don't know which one. And then you've got all this that comes down that forms a face look with the lips, ears and eyes here. Very unique and will look absolutely astonishing in pencil. And you've got this kind of, I guess it's one of these, that you have to look twice because there are hidden stuff in it. I mean, this is a man's face and nose and eyes, but then it's made up of fruit, apples, pears. There is a heart there in the right place, and then the arm that comes down. I'm so happy to get this book. I found it in Russian and I had to use Google Translator to find out what it was called in English, which I couldn't find. And then, lucky for me, it popped up in French. So I was quite fortunate. As you can see here, this is an elephant and a butterfly combined. The wings of the butterfly are the elephant's ears. I don't know which way is best to show that one, if you can quite see that. You've got all sorts here really. You've got the paws and back legs of two dogs with the heads here, but the heads are half dog, half hen or chicken. And then you've got the birds in the corner with the flower arrangement. And you've got this wild hare kind of thing, or bunny rabbit, made up of all these flowers, ribbons for feet. And you've got this fox, or wolf, not sure which certainly goes on to become flowers. This one's really weird. You've got the gentleman's neck with a shirt, and then it pops into like a big flower head. There is one eye here, and that, I think that's the other eye, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's very, very weird, but also very unique, which is what I like. This is like an owl's head on a griffin, maybe. Not 100% sure what the animal at the bottom half is, but it's on its side. It could even be a kangaroo. But obviously this part kind of puts me off. But it's so unique. I mean, and then you've got the buffalo or bison here with the city on top, and that's followed by a city page. You've got this, and you've got the sweet corners, the nose. Not sure what the lips are, but the chin is an onion, the cheeks are onions, and the eyes are split onions. And you've got goldfish for eyebrows. So whoever's thought these up, you know, absolutely fantastic. I really, really love this one. I think it's awesome. This is going to be awesome coloured. It'll take a while, but I think it'll be worth it. Then you've got the side-on view look with the ears being a farm, with the farm wall going round. You've got the entrance to a castle as the nose, and the mouth is also a moat, and a side, what do you call the windows? You know, that they shoot the arrows out of. The name escapes me at the moment. But I really love that one. I think that one is my favourite so far. Then you've got this kind of squiddy type creature with teeth and one eye, which is awesome. And then you've got the bird of prey that's turned into a cat with the spotted tail, but then you've got all the feather detail, and then the cat's face. I think that's awesome. This one, a wolf, I think, which morphs into lots of flowers, and it's got its original paws. I mean, there's some strange looking animals in here. I think that's a hare or a rabbit with a bird's face of sorts. And the same with that. But as you can see, this is really, really different. You've got the lion here in the midst of a city with all these serpents coming out, and you've got the chicks hatching, and you've got the Italian sculptures and masks. There's such a vivid imagination on this work. I mean, some of these on the reverse side are just, you know, they're just filler pages, but a lot of the images are, I mean, that is superb. I'm not sure what the contents of the mashup is, but I mean, I think it's eyebrows, pasta, that's definitely an onion or garlic, and that's a mushroom, its nose. I mean, it's just phenomenal. A good double spread here of a lion, all made of leaves. You've got the grizzly bear, the big brown bear with a fox. You've got this kind of weird looking effigy here. I won't even try and depict what's in that, but obviously there are fish, kind of eels at the top for hair, and there's mushrooms, toadstools here. I think the eyes are half mussel, a mussel shell. That is just, I mean, some of them look almost comical at first until you manage to decipher what kind of animals are in them. I think that's a bat mixed with, I don't know, looks like a lion, but then there's horns on it, so I'm not too sure. This one again, quite spooky looking. This one's outstanding. This one reminds me of Bennett Klein kind of stuff. It's got everything in there, you know. There's a stork, there's a load of eyes, there's a tiger, there's a mouth with teeth, there's a rhino, you know, just absolutely superb. That's a hog mixed with a load of trees on its back. Or a boar. Cute squirrel with acorn. Lion's face, which is kind of, looks really old. I don't know what they've done to that to make it look as strange as it does, but again, it's the artist's impression and the vividness of the imagination. Another good one here with the bird. The wings are trees and branches. This one's really strange, but it would be good coloured. I mean, I think it's one of them that's, it is, look, it's a bearded man, this side with the neck and lips with a long nose, and then of course you turn it round and it turns into a lady. Or a man who wears makeup, one of the two. But again, that's a bit of a filler page. Then we have the blind lady with roses and flowers on her head. And you have this flock of birds here. All different types of bird with an eye in the middle. Another filler page. You've got a camel with, instead of the two humps, you've got two kind of either a small city or a cathedral of some sort. Again, it's just really good ideas, and I think these two are both reversible faces again. So you've got the bearded man here and the kind of bearded man here, and I think if you turn them around, oh brilliant, you've got the skull here with what could be fire detail here, and then you've got another bearded, that turns into another bearded man there. Another filler page. That's some kind of zombie with a volcano and some like island kind of vegetation on there. I think this is absolutely awesome. I don't know if it's a minotaur or a buffalo or whatever, but it's made up. The more you look into detail, there's a fox in there, there's a bottle of beer, there's an alien, some roses, orchids, serpent heads, everything you can think of. But bring that a bit closer for you. Look at the detail in that. Unbelievable, Jeff. Another one of those double-sided things. This looks like Parsnip Man. Probably isn't, but that's what it looks like to me. You got all these birds. It's just fantastic. I mean, it's not the odd one out image. It's just loads of them. I mean, this is. Why am I not getting that in properly? Right, there we go. I mean, look at that. You know, you've got the top of the waterfall or the moat kind of entrance as the mouth. You've got this tower as the nose, two buildings as the eyes, and you've got all this detail around it. Fantastic. Another one worthy of mention, that big skull there. The hare, the turtle or tortoise, which have been together in a combination before. You got this serpent with the tail of the serpent going back into its mouth, but it's got wings. I mean, it's just wow, really. It's the wow factor with this book. I really like this one. I think that's probably the first one that I'll do. You've got the bird of prey up here, parrot, an owl, a budgie. I'm not sure about these two here, but once all the feathers are done and then they start blending into a skin, that'll look really, really effective. That's some kind of dragon. And that looks like a griffin again. I'm not too sure. It's got different front feet to back feet, so it's probably a mixture of several animals, but again, it's a good creation, whatever it is. I don't know what you call it. Then you got double page spread with a leopard. And then the final one is two further facial images. One's made up of trees and roots, and then a starry night for eyes. This one's made up of plants and flowers with budding flowers as the eyes, and a root for the nose. And then all the facial hair is leaves. It's absolutely brilliant. Another crazy mashup of animals. There's just a couple of filler pages. You got this guy who's got a head full of either garlic or onions. He's got like a twisted mushroom for nose. His moustache is tree branches. He's got walnuts for eyes. I'm not sure what the eyebrows are. A big parsnip kind of thing for a chin. It's just brilliant. Really, really unique. And I can't even make that one out. It's just a mashup of a load of birds, I think. Oh no, it is a human. There's the neck. These are the ears. And the two eyes. So, and the teeth are here. Unbelievable. Really, really good. And so artistic. So that's the end of that one. I'm trying to find the year for this one. This one is 2015. So it's been out a long time. And then it's got quite an extensive thumbnails here of all the different books you can get in this collection. So that's worth looking at. So there we have it. That's the second part of the haul. I really hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to carry on with the colouring now. It's been lovely to speak to you a couple of times today. I hope you've enjoyed the couple of flip throughs, and I hope you've enjoyed the question and answers. I did try to be as honest as I could with the answering, and hopefully we'll all speak soon. Please subscribe if you've not done already, and give the channel a big thumbs up. And Lois has fallen down. Just hang on. There we go. So I'll speak to you all later, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Cheerio, folks.